Elisabeth.
Hi, Thomas. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you for inviting me to London.
So happy that you're here.
Glad to be here.
It's been such a great event so far.
Yeah, what have you done so far in the first half of the day?
Well, obviously we did a little dance in the morning to wake
There's a
everybody
dance.
up.
Yep.
And my key session was about trust. Trusting people, trusting the technology, making sure that everything evolves around the Damsters that we have here. So the funny thing is, after that, a lot of AI talk, but we even managed to have some sessions not talking about AI.
Oh, wow.
And people then talking about people and how important they are.
Well, that came up in Creative Ops last week in New York. All the AI conversations are focused on the people, which is the right way to look at it. It's not the technology.
It's not the technology, and the more AI we're going to use, the more we have to rely on good resourcing.
Right.
So that ties into your session later as well, right?
Oh, it does. I can't wait. So it's one of the most popular sessions we do, whether it's in Los Angeles, New York, or in London. We talk about careers. What do you need to know as a professional? What do you want to learn on? What are the skills that'll make you successful in your organization, but also to help your peers and when you're mentoring and coaching your team. And so I expect that to be sold out. I absolutely think it will
Definitely.
be. Yeah.
The main trigger that I saw last time I think it was in New York, is where you actually mentioned like, who do you look up to? Who's your role model? And to be honest, I found myself to be a little bit jealous.
Jealous?
Because I want people to be like, oh, it's Elisabeth, oh, it's Elisabeth. But then everybody was like, no, it's Thomas, it's Thomas.
I think we both did a good job.
I think so too.
But yeah, it's important because role models, especially when change is going on so much, there's a lot of anxiety. Organizations are reorging, people have new roles, they have new jobs, and the purpose of DAM and the fit of DAM in the overall, what we do has changed. And so to be a DAM manager or a DAM librarian isn't what it used to be anymore. Now you're supposed to talk about content, you're supposed to understand marketing, you're supposed to understand IT, you have to talk to the business leaders about the value. There's a lot that goes into it, so it should be a really good session.
Definitely, and also this morning it was mentioned that because of technology changing so much, it also has different demands of the people in the DAM industry.
Yeah.
So do you see that evolving as well? People who are involved, and do they need to be more bold and out there?
Well, you always want to be bold, right? And I think being here and being at the conference to talk to colleagues is step one. What is the rest of the organizations doing? What are your peers doing? What are the mentors you're going to find going to be doing? And so I think there used to be a phrase, and I'm going to paraphrase it wrong, but it's not that AI will take your jobs, it's that people who understand AI will take your jobs is sort of one thing. And maybe the better way to say that is that AI, people who use AI skillfully and well,
yes,
are going to be the ones that succeed. Rather than worrying about the anxiety of what's going to take a job, talk about how you're going to evolve your career, how you're going to be successful, how you're going to make your organization successful. I think that is bold because you want to be bold and curious as you continue your journey.
Love that very much. So as we're going along now here in London, the new question is, how about New York? What are you most
New York?
How about New York? What's coming up, and are you excited about something specific?
Well, New York is one of the largest events, and so you've got this amazing mix of professionals, you've got aspiring professionals, you have leaders who are there, and then when we look to curate the speakers, we want people to be practical, we want people to be approachable. I want you to hear something from a speaker and be able to go up to them right afterwards and say, hey, tell me some more about that. And so I think the program's going to be engaging. It's going to be how do you actually make things work? Of course, we're going to talk about AI, but you hit it right on the head. People are talking about the people part of AI, people talking about people,
yes,
talking about the people part of AI, and less about the technology, because they want to be able to understand how to, lower anxiety, increase sort of, the outcome focus, make people really positive and energized about some of the changes that are coming. So I think over the course of 2 days, you're going to have a fair bit of technology, but you're really going to see speakers talk to how do we do this in our organization. You're going to hear case studies, and then you're going to have wonderful panels who are just going to invite questions from the audience. So we want it to be really interactive, really engaging, so that when you attend that conference, you feel like you're part of the community and you're learning.
So here in DAM Europe, here in London, we have obviously a community from Europe, but we also have some Americans visiting from that side.
Yeah.
So how do we persuade the Damsters here in Europe to come to New York? What's in it for them to go that way.
Wow. Well, I think for both conferences, in a more perfect world, you would go to both.
Yes.
Because you definitely have a global perspective, but there are nuances between how European, how Asia Pac, how the United States work. And I think being in the US could be a real value to get that perspective from some of the American leaders and those who are working on very similar challenges, but maybe theirs is a little bit nuanced, or maybe you're going to pick up something a little bit different. So I think for global organizations in particular, as much as you can, get that perspective from LA, get it from New York, get it from Europe, and then you really synthesize it into something that you can use day to day.
I think that's an excellent idea.
Yeah.
We have the crossover on all of the events. So what is the difference in vibe compared to New York and London? Is there a difference in vibe? Is there a difference in vibe?
I don't know. I think there's a lot of energy. The accents are a little bit different, which is quite fun. But I think the European crowd and the American crowd all have the same challenges. How do you get content out faster? How do you do it at scale? How do you personalize it? And then that overlaying layer of how do you put AI into that process? That's true universally right now.
Absolutely. So for anyone who's thinking about, I want to go, but should I really go? Is it for me? What's in it for me? How do we persuade those people to come?
Yeah, so if you're thinking about whether or not you want to go to New York, I would challenge you. I think it's one of the premier, along with London and Los Angeles, premier community builders where you're going to meet your peers, you're going to meet other professionals. And one of the great points I love about it is that it's from different industries. So you have historical, you'll have museums, you'll have CPG, you'll have finance, you'll have, quite a few actually, and I was just thinking about the list in my head, but if I work for a pharmaceutical company and you work for a consumer products company, our challenges might be a little bit different, but I'm going to learn something from you.
Definitely.
You're going to learn something from me, and maybe it's something I didn't think about. So the first one is expanding your knowledge, just learning more about what are the challenges and how do you solve them. And then the second one, outside of community, is come for the speakers, come to learn from experienced professionals who've been in the industry and who have already solved some of the problems you may be working on, and then follow up and give that ability to ask them questions, to meet with them, to talk with them, sit over a pint, have a cup of coffee, just really learn from them. And I think it's the personal moment that we miss out on so often when we're virtual. You can't have this type of interaction.
Exactly.
So
that
come to New York,
absolutely.
see people one-on-one, and really gain as much as you can out of it.
And it's really, we are a big family all together, so there's no competition.
Family.
It's really family.
Yeah.
And we're all together in this industry, and it doesn't end with the conference. Conferences are really the starting point for having those conversations.
Yeah.
And you can meet up afterwards, or even go to LA, go to Sydney, come to London again next year.
Well, we had a great chat last week, and one of the speakers said it's about relationships. So after this conference, he put up his LinkedIn. He said, anyone here, even if I've never met you, reach out to me. I'm happy to share what I'm working on. Stay in touch. Let's make sure we develop a relationship so that if you need help or I need help and we want to share more, we can reach out and support each other through the challenges. And I think that's really special. And you see people that have gone to these conferences for years and have developed close relationships. One of my favorite moments, though, is that often we really work with young professionals. So if you're a young professional and maybe you're concerned about cost, this is a place where you can really find that mentorship we talked about, and you can ask questions. Last week when we were in New York, one of the young professionals talked about how she'd had an epiphany. Like, it all came together about how she should work in her role and what she should do, and the audience just clapped. Like, it was an amazing moment where 500 people were supporting someone with just a few years of experience. So whether you're a leader, whether you have some experience but maybe you're shifting into DAM, or whether you're a more junior professional, take advantage of it.
All welcome.
Yeah, all welcome.
So, conference is in October. Mm-hmm. New York in October. What's the best bit?
It's beautiful. Like, it's still cool. The winter weather hasn't really started yet. You're going to be able to walk around the city and just enjoy the shops and the restaurants. So you go for the conference, you absolutely enjoy the environment. I grew up in New York City. My accent might be gone, but I always love being there.
Excellent. So thank you so much. I'm so much looking forward
Cheers, my
to
friend.
seeing
Nice
you
to see you.
in October.